Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, October the 28th, and in 2 days, on October 30th in the afternoon, Gail and I are packing the car and we're heading down to Pennsylvania. We're going down for 2 weeks. We're going to be staying at an Airbnb, and Gail's sister from California is flying out and joining us for the 2 weeks. Enjoying central Pennsylvania, going out to Philadelphia, but also spending some time in Maryland, Baltimore area as well. We're really looking forward to taking these 2 weeks of just rest and relaxation and rejuvenating our spirits again. So as you think of us, pray that we would have safety in all things and that God would really replenish our strength. I want to leave you with a couple of verses from Galatians chapter 6, verses 2 and 3. And it says this: share each other's burdens and in this way obey the law of Christ. I like that. Share each other's burdens. In the last week I've done two funerals, and there is that aspect of being able to share our grief together, and that lightens the load and the burden of the grief when we share it. And I think in all sorts of other ways, when we share our burdens with others, it becomes a community effort to take and help you carry that. And I like the way Paul says, and in this way you obey the law of Christ. And the law of Christ is that his yoke is easy and his burden is light. So we are fulfilling the law of Christ when we help each other out. And in verse 3, if you think that you are too important to help someone, you are only fooling yourself. You are not that important. What an amazing sort of a sarcastic warning that Paul has there. He's basically saying that none of us are too important to not help somebody else out. And if you think you are, just know that you're really not. Now, I think that's a really good thing for me to be reminded of as a pastor, because sometimes, because you are in front of people a lot and you get a lot of accolades because of the help that you give to people, there's this sort of sense that, well, I'm quite important. And whether that is or isn't the case, the reality is, as God says, you're never too important to help somebody else out. One of the speakers that I remember from many years ago, his name was Steve Lytle, and he was a man who traveled around the world and spoke at all sorts of conferences, literally to thousands of people. And here he was talking to this Youth Mission International team of 40 young adults. And the one day we were having lunch, and he had been at our table, and all of a sudden he was no longer there. And we went looking to see where he was. And I found him in the kitchen, drying dishes and talking to the cooks. To me, that spoke to the evidence of this verse. You're never too important to help someone out. Here's a person who has traveled around the world, spoken to thousands of people, and where is he? He's in the kitchen, helping dry dishes and talking to the cooks. What an incredible example that fleshes out this verse that we've been talking about today. So I hope you have a great weekend and a great 2 weeks. I will look forward to sharing with you some of the joy and some of the pictures when I get back home. God bless you all. I'll be praying for you.